Good morning again. It's always great to be with you guys, and I missed you last week. Today, I want to talk about my why. I'm passionate about helping people realize their potential as leaders. And why, you might ask? Because the first half of my life, I lived by default. I was not living on purpose. So I'm opening the kimono today in a way I never have before in front of all of you. Twice, 2 times, I had to hit the wall before I started paying attention. First time, I was a corporate vice president, and I worked for a bully of a CEO. He made my life miserable, and I let him until I finally confronted him. He said, "Why do you let me do it?" He gave me permission to set boundaries. And it was interesting because I was able to break a lifetime pattern that had dominated my life. Whoa. Now I have to tell you, he had a good side to him too. Every day he would ask me, "What did you learn today?" So it gave me the opportunity to continue to build and feed my curiosity to learn new things. Time 2 that I hit the wall, I was in the midst of a nasty divorce. I was confronted with the challenging statement, "I don't want to destroy you, but I will." 13 years. How did I miss this? How did I miss this? So he did not succeed, and my 16-year marriage to Shelley Baur is my living testimony today. I did survive. The thing is, I wanted to blame these 2 men for the situation that I was in. But it forced me to look at my own personal responsibility. After all, I was there. It also gave me the courage to walk away from destructive environments. And some of you know what I'm talking about. I came to understand that I was 100% at choice. And if I wanted to change the pattern of my outcomes in relationships, I had to make different choices. I had to transform myself. And it began with a look in the mirror. Let's change the tone and talk a bit about learning theory for a moment. You can take a nap if you want to, but you might be interested in hearing. In 1975, Malcolm Knowles proposed a theory of adult learning that says people are self-directed and expect to take personal responsibility for their decisions. Would you agree with that statement? Our intentions are good. We want to be responsible people who keep our agreements. Well, I didn't read his book in 1975, so it took me a while to learn that, hence the 2 in-your-face experiences. Has anybody else had the experience of reading a book after the fact going, "Wow, I could have had a V8? Great. So how does this relate to my chosen passion for leadership development? Well, my own wake up to self-awareness is what helped me make the connection. Because when you're going along thinking everything's fine, you don't realize you need to make a change. And once I became honest with myself, I became a more focused leader. But first I had to learn how to lead me. So, have you ever driven down the road from point A to point B and you're on autopilot? And when you get to your destination, you go, "Gee, I don't even remember passing the stop and go." Everybody's done it. We've all done it. In 1994, a researcher named Rafael Echeverria called that state of kind of, fog, he called it transparency. And he said when there's a break in that fog that produces an emotional state, the result is we learn and remember. I was that curious 2-year-old who was admonished by my mother in the kitchen not to touch the hot thing on the stove. What did I do? I climbed on a chair, put my hand in the frying pan. Emotional charge. Never did that again. As an adult, have we ever been behind a car that the brake lights in front of us did not come on, but the car was indeed stopping. Adrenaline rush, you saved your life, back off, don't get so close to the person in front of you. Well, the same thing happens when we are learning throughout our lives and we're teaching adult learners how to change their behaviors. The same year that Echeverria was doing his research, Brian Tracy asked me the question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I wrote down, it was like automatic writing, I would write a book that would change people's lives for the better. My mistakes got turned into high growth learning opportunities. I was able to reframe what I had done wrong and pledged to help other people get through it faster. 10 years later, the first edition came out. You know, I don't have to be quicker, faster all the time. I can be slower and more deliberate. But in 2013, the second edition came out, and I had bumped up about 30% of the content to be very proactive about my relationship, my growing relationship with Medtronic, which, by the way, was a BNI referral. It took a while to take integrity-based communications and make it part of my DNA. That had to happen before I could produce the book. Now the 6 behavior communication model is the foundation of everything I do, whether it's a keynote speech, a workshop, a year-long program. I had to learn firsthand how telling my truth quicker, faster could free people up, give them the permission to do the same, and to ask for what they want. It's now become easy and natural for me. I also learned firsthand how important it is to ask questions. You've heard me say before, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Certainly God had something in mind that we often don't pay attention to. So asking questions and to uncover the pain, the desire, the wants, the needs, that allows people to share their joy and the things that they most want to avoid. When I pay attention by listening, by understanding and learning what these drivers are for people, I am better equipped to serve them, to serve you. And it allows each of us to share tools so that people can get what they really want in life. And finally, when I have the power, the personally acquired right, if you will, to talk about the power of personal responsibility and that every choice we make has consequences, the value of keeping agreements and staying accountable inspires them to teach others to do the same. That's my job, is just inspire people to release that greatness within them so that they can be the full potential of the leader they were born to be. I passed out a productivity process, and it looks like this. It's part of the foundation for my leadership foundations that I kick off with a half day and rolls all the way to a full 2-day program. And you'll see that the bottom of the pyramid, if you will, is one's life mission and purpose. Does everybody in here have a written life mission and purpose? No. So maybe that's something we could talk about. But it becomes the foundation for living our values, principles, and beliefs, and supporting both our long-term goals and our short-term goals, and ultimately the daily activities. If they are not in alignment, you're sending a mixed message. Even if it's not coming out of your mouth, you are projecting something that doesn't feel right. Knowing my why has changed my life. It shapes my story. Knowing my why helps me align at each of these levels. Let me help you help me better succeed. The next time you're talking to a small business owner, I invite you to ask a question like, what is your biggest people challenge these days? And you may hear, I wish my people would get along better. My people like each other, but they really aren't meeting the goals of the company. Or finally, individually, my folks are terrific, but a great team can do so much more. Those are the things, those are the triggers that allow you to open the door for me whether it's to make an introduction by email, send a video link to the presentation today, give them a copy of my book, set up coffee and I'll bring the book, and share what my clients are saying about me. That 11 by 17 handout that was on your chair allows you to see through the eyes and experience of my own clients what they're saying. And hopefully that will give you the confidence to make that call. My ideal clients are couples running a business, different components, young emerging leaders, new managers needing supervision skills, leaders promoted into higher visibility roles, and directors with managers reporting to them that they want to empower as high performance team leaders. The next step, a conversation over coffee. I'll bring the book, and I'll be ready to listen to you. Thank you.